All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. Before I start, I want to say that I will include the link to the article in the description to this video. It's a crazy video. A lot of stories that pop out of my mind, they only happen when I'm talking to my wife. Me and her get to talking. Sometimes I tell her some war stories, and then I'll be like, damn, you know what? That's a good idea for a video. That's the situation here, especially with the video that I put out about Tehachapi and everything that happened to Tehachapi. I actually had a CO reach out to me that works at Tehachapi. Straight clown, straight weenie, telling me, why don't you put your identification card out there? Everyone knows my first and last name and my CDC number book, and just go through my videos. There's a picture with the thumbnail, actually has my first, my last, and my CDC number on it. So it's just comical. It's not like the dude's gonna meet up. I couldn't even respond back because, well, he's a cop, and if I respond back, well, you know, that's an easy way for me to get busted. But I just thought I'd share that with you because it's kind of funny. You know, it's kind of emotions and feelings got hurt here. So why not just push the nail in a little bit deeper with some more reality? So back when I was in Kern Valley in 2012, I pulled up in 2012, early 2012. That was the first time I got to Kern Valley. Ended up in the hole and everything. Ended up going to D-Yard. And there was this big old thing going around about how an inmate actually got a fair one with a CO, a fair fight with the CO. But what ended up happening is we heard a lot of different versions of the story until the real one came out, because it was really close. You know, just I wasn't bumper to bumper with dude, so I can't tell you exactly what happened. But I know he got escorted out to the yard. They caught a fade. Another CO followed him out to the yard. I'll give it props to the CO's name was Christopher Cruz, not Cruiz, but Cruse, Cruz. Anyways, he ended up taking the fade with an inmate. I'll give him to him on that. He took off his belt. What do you think's going to happen? The inmate beat the crap out of him. That's going to be 9 times out of 10. Unless the CO has some kind of training in jiu-jitsu, martial arts, or anything like that, they're always going to get their ass beat, man. It just is what it is. They don't have that fight that a lot of inmates have. We got that fight. And even if an inmate don't know how, I've seen a lot of prisoners that don't know how to fight, but they got that fight in them because they're in prison, man. They got to fight for their life, man. They're used to that. But they cast the fade. Christopher Cruz, the CO, ends up getting tore up, man, from top to bottom, getting beat up bad. So the CO that followed him out, trailed him. I don't know if he was requested to be trailed. I don't know if Christopher was like, hey, man, follow me out. I'm about to catch a fade with this inmate. I don't know if he just did it on his own. Obviously, he stopped the fight. According to reports, they stood up, they shook hands, everything was good. Now, this is where the problem is. The inmate's fine. Inmate has no injuries, nothing to his face, no abrasions, nothing like that. But the CO's beat up, man. We're talking swollen face, messed up eyes. Everything's all beat up, man. I remember the medical coming in. It was a big old thing, man, because at the end of it, they end up setting him up, the inmate. So before we get into this, let's just slow down, man. I'm gonna need y'all to like this video, man. If you like everything that's coming out of this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. You already know the deal, man. A little give and take. You know how we do it, man. Let's get this video in rotation. Anyhow. So yeah, man, the dude gets up, they shake hands, they depart ways, goes back to his cell. Mind you, this inmate is already a second striker. He cannot afford his third strike. If you get 3 strikes in California, you're getting washed up. That means you're doing life in prison. So CO realizes, hey man, I messed up. You know, I wasn't supposed to go out to yard and get beat up. I thought I was gonna win. You know, I really thought I was gonna win that fight, you know. But now I'm all beat up and I got to have an explanation for this. I got to explain this to somebody. So in the meantime, what their plan was to do was to cover it up, which is cool. We all for that. Hey, as a convict and an inmate, we all for that. So they cleaned up all the blood off the yard. That'll let you know how bad the situation was. Blood. They cleaned up all the blood off the yard. You know, they're trying to get their stories right. But when push comes to shove, they realize, damn, we're going to need a fall guy. So they go to inmate's cell, man. They go to his cell. And they push up in there. Whoop. The COs. And they're like, hey, man, we need you to take the rap for this, man. Because the way my face looks, I'm all beat up. You got to say that you attacked me. We got a fair one, but you have to say you attacked me for my report or I'm going to get in trouble. So the inmate looks at him like, what? Are you kidding me right now? I'm a second striker. You want me to answer up for attacking you and catch my third strike? You want me to do life because I beat you up to a fight that you challenged me to? So obviously the inmate tells him no, and I'm sure he was respectful about it. I'm sure he told him like, hey man, I can't do that. That's a negative. I got 2 strikes. I'll lose my freedom if I do that. This piece of shit, Christopher Cruz, literally takes off on him. They take off on him. The SEALs attack him. They slam him around in his cell, and then they charge him with attacking an officer. My man was about to lose his life, man, lose his freedom for good, man. He would have never got out if it wasn't for just a dash of humanity in his partner. Because the only reason why the inmate won the lawsuit that he won and the officers got fired and in trouble and reprimanded, the only reason why any of that happened was because the CO, who had a little bit of humanity in him, went home, probably had a talk with his wife about it, maybe talked to his people, his family about it, and came to the clear conclusion that he could not have another man's freedom on his hands behind a lie that he was telling. So he ended up corroborating the story of the inmate. Everything the inmate said down to the T. If you got a CO saying it, backing you up, then that's gold. Because until then, if a CO says the sky is black and you tell him the sky is white or blue, he's going to win 100% of the time. In prison, the whole process of grievances and 602s and fighting a 115, we call it kangaroo court, because it's never going to be a fair trial. They even got it so good to where you can take a polygraph test to prove your innocence and that you ain't guilty on a certain offense, but it's inadmissible in a 115 hearing. It's inadmissible. That means it doesn't even play no matter. All you could do is hope that it strikes one of their heartstrings. You know, one time I got into a riot, and one of my partners, man, he booked the other dude, started stabbing him up in the head and everything. The way the write-ups were written up, they had me fighting the guy who got stabbed. I didn't even touch him. Me and him didn't exchange blows for 1 second. So obviously, if they got me and him fighting, they can't find the piece. They had me for booking him, for stabbing him. Man, I was in the hole. I had all my all my homies that was in the riot. I had the actual victim who got stabbed and his homies. Luckily there was another riot after that, about a couple weeks later, where a bunch of people came from my block into the hole. So everyone who was there and witnessed it, they all came on behalf and just said he was not fighting him. He was not touching him. So I could not, after all that preponderance of evidence on my side, I was still going to be found guilty. So I look at him, man, and I say, look, if you go through all my disciplinary hearings, if you go through all my C-file, I plead guilty all the time. Every time I've ever done a battery, a riot, anything, GBI, SBI, any type of infraction, even all the way down just to simple mutual combats, getting caught with fishing line, you name it, tattooing. If I'm guilty, you'll see my whole track record. I told them, go through everything. You'll see that I always plead guilty. I didn't book nobody this time. I'm not about to plead guilty to that, man. He said, man, he told his officers, take him out of the room. He's like, I'm going to bring you back in 5 minutes. He brought me back 5 minutes later and was like, I'm going to let you. I ended up getting riot. I ended up just getting participation in a riot for this write-up. But before that, it was assault with a deadly weapon causing great bodily injury during the commission of a riot. He says, the only reason why I'm going to drop it, it ain't because of all the witnesses. It ain't because of the victim. It ain't because of your crime. It ain't because of nothing. I had one of my boys stepping up saying, I stabbed him. I stabbed him. They still wasn't about to hear him out. He said, the only reason why, he's like, is because your word is good. I went through your whole C-file and you always plead guilty. He's like, I'm gonna drop it just for that. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you more so got to appeal to their sense of like, I don't know, empathy, logic. You know, you gotta make them really, they already assume that you're lying and all your homies is lying and even the victim is lying. So that's why we call it kangaroo court, because you're never going to get a fair trial by evidence and nothing of the sort. It just don't work that way. But anyways, enough of my personal story. Let's get back into this one. So all these officers end up getting, he corroborates the inmate stories. All these officers end up getting fired. A sergeant gets fired. A lieutenant gets in trouble. He gets penalized some kind of way. People are penalized all over the place. And then a couple years later, the lawsuit's filed, and it's granted. I remember seeing it on the news. I think he got a little bit over $200,000, maybe higher. And I don't know if he's out. I don't know if he's out. You know what I mean? He was black. He wasn't a homie. He wasn't white. He ran with the Crips or the Crips or the Bloods. One of them two. I can't really remember, but he beat the dog crap out of that CO, man, and he put it down, man. I don't know what that CO was thinking. I don't know what they're thinking half the time, man. But it's just another situation where, like, you can't really generalize. You can't sum up everybody into one bunch, right? As men are men. Human beings are human beings. Doesn't matter if you're a CO. Doesn't matter if you're an inmate. Anybody can be anybody. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, a lot of these COs, they become COs because of their scarred childhoods. You know, they grow up bullied. They grow up kind of the nerd. They don't fit in. They grow up already kind of the victim of gang members. You know what I mean? Very rarely, like now, you're starting to see like the popular guy in school getting out of high school and becoming a CO. Now you're starting to see, because of the benefits, because of how easy it is to become a CO. But all that's leading to is monsters inside of gang members and monsters inside of prison, and what they end up doing is becoming just as bad as us, if not worse, because they bring things in, they stage fights, they break every rule you could think to break. So, in summing it up, man, before I close, I just want to say that, you know, there is good COs out there. I have family members who actually have been COs, and I have a lot of respect for them. You know, I respect it and I understand it. But 9 times out of 10, you COs is some bitches. You COs is some pussy ass marks, man. I gotta just call it how I see it. If you don't like it, get at me, bro. If you one of the ones that's not that what I'm saying, then cool. Much respect to you and how you handle yours, because I've come across plenty that didn't play that. That damn sure ain't no type of weenie, ain't no type of soft or nothing like that. So if you ain't the weenie ones and all that, then this shouldn't offend you. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, they're just not built like that, you know. So it's nothing to them to pull out a baton, pepper spray you, set you up with a charge, and boom, call it a day. As a matter of fact, look, I could even respect those ones who tell you why. Because I've had COs where I used to get crazy with them. Because I used to be a young rowdy motherfucker, man. I used to get crazy with them and shit anywhere. And it'd be like, hey, I'm not going to waste my time fighting with you. I'm not going to waste my time wrestling with you. I'm going to spray the shit out of you. I'm going to hit you with some handcuffs, and I'm going to put a charge on you. You want to go? I can respect those ones more than I can respect the ones that walk around tugging on their vest like, nah, homie, you ain't hard. There ain't not one bone in you because you hard. Oh, but because you can get all these tattoos and look like a gangster and look like you been some. Shut up, dude. Shut up. They want to shave their heads. They want to grow out their little mustache, tat themselves up. Clowns. Clowns. Straight clowns. Go join a gang. Go join a gang if that's how you feel. If you want to play that way, go join a gang, man. You want to be a little criminal. But nonetheless, man, respect to the ones who can do an honest 9 to 5. They could go, they do their honest, 8 hours and they leave, man. Respect to those ones. Respect to the ones that give respect before they try to punk out an inmate or pepper spray an inmate. Respect to those ones, man. Shout out to those ones. But hope y'all like this story, man. The inmate, in my opinion, definitely came out on top. Beat the shit out the inmate and exposed the crookedness at the same time. Beat the shit out the CO and exposed the crookedness at the same time. The inmate, much love, much respect, salute. So I hope y'all like this video, man. Stay tapped. We got some more content coming out here pretty soon. We already creeping up on 90,000 subscribers, man. I got to say I love each and every one of y'all, man. Even my haters, man. So make sure you either hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down. It don't matter. All right, much love. Deuces.